looking at the law. And I think that's where we have to go. I think there are lots of people who are concerned that someone crossing into another state with a weapon.
Okay, now, Juan Williams, this is over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Rittenhouse did not travel across state lines with a weapon.
They just keep that narrative going, even though it's not true.
So Juan Williams has a strong opinion that an injustice was done, and he doesn't even know the basics of the case. So you're hearing a very uneducated, uninformed opinion from Juan Williams. But let's get back to it, because he's just totally wrong about that. And another thing on this, I'm tired of them talking about state lines. State lines are lines on a map, okay? They are not real borders like the southern border that they've opened up.
No.
And I think that's where we have to go. I think there are lots of people who are concerned that someone crossing into another state with a weapon, really a vicious weapon, is now under the law allowed to engage in what looked like vigilantism.
Okay, he was attacked. Now this is after the verdict. He was attacked by 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
One tried to shoot him. One tried to bash his head in. The other 2 tried to steal his gun. I don't know where he's getting vigilantism.
Well, he's so concerned about people crossing state lines with weapons. How about Antifa being shipped in through buses with baseball bats and Molotov cocktails? And what about those guys with their weapons? You can kill somebody with a baseball bat. You can kill somebody with a skateboard. Are they from Kenosha? No, they're shipped in from other places. Is he concerned with that too?
Exactly. Let's get back to it.
Into another state
fucking
with
clown.
a weapon, a vicious weapon, is now under the law allowed to engage in what look like vigilantism. And you think about concealed right to carry laws, you think about stand your ground laws, the whole notion of self-defense when you're dealing with someone who's armed is now, we've gone away from the idea of you are responsible when possible to step back if you're armed. Now, with these new laws, if you shoot, then you can say that you felt threatened. I think one other thought is if this had been a black teenager who had done this, wow, I think the laws might have treated him a little differently.
Shut the fuck up.
Kyle Rittenhouse was black, and the guys chasing him and trying to kill him were white. He wouldn't even been brought up on charges.
Probably.
There would have been no trial.
But they keep bringing up this hypothetical. And they don't know if that's true or not. There was an article where there was a black kid who was a school shooter, remember? It happened about a month ago. And they let him out on bail. And he went home. Remember, he shot, but he didn't kill. I don't know if he killed anybody, but he shot a bunch of people. They ended up in the hospital. It was in the news. He got let out on bail that day and went home with his family. They didn't, so that's not true anymore. This isn't the 80s or the 60s or whatever. Things are different now. And to throw that out there and to just say, well, if he was black, that's just saying that. There's no proof of that happening now. In fact, just the opposite, like you said, is what takes place. But these people, I think a lot of black people, and I could be wrong, but I think a lot of them feel obligated to their community to toe this line.
Not these people. These people are true believing.
You think so?
Racists,
you think Juan Williams really believes that, or do you think he feels because he's a black man, he has to say
his
this?
His mind is going.
Or he'll be called,
No. He believes. They all believe this. Right now, here's reaction from CNN.
I'm wondering, Charles, you point out his age, Sarah, 17-year-old, now 18. Do you think his age played any role in the verdict, the fact that he was so young?
Well, Pamela, I don't necessarily think that it's just his age. I think we have to be very clear about what that means. I think that what we have seen in this trial, be it from the judge, be it from right-wing media, be it from the public in many cases, we've seen a consistent infantilization of Kyle Rittenhouse in front of the public. And I think part of that was strategic by the defense, the way that he presented on the stand, the way that he presented in court, to remind the jury that he was young. But in terms of his age, I want to be very clear about something. We've seen many instances where people who were not like Kyle Rittenhouse, and I am referring to race in this instance.
Oh my God, shut up.
I'm referring to the exonerated 5 in New York.
doing
also
this
known as
race
Central
shit.
Park 5,
All
where they
people,
were not
shut the
treated with
fuck
same
up.
delicacy and shielded by their age.
Nope,
And
the
so there is
racist
a certain
shit.
level of privilege that we have to acknowledge when you talk about how age played
annoying.
a role. I do believe that age was a factor. However, I think that it was amplified by the fact that he enjoyed the privilege of being
Shut the
infantilized.
fuck up.
Yes, that also may have resonated with the jury as well.
Okay, now this reference they keep making to the Central Park case, as a textbook example of racist juries, one thing they leave out is that was a New York City jury. That means had a jury of Democrats and a Democrat town with a Democrat judge.
Right.
So I'll agree with all these liberals, like this joker on CNN, that racist Democrats in New York may racist verdicts, no doubt about it. All right, now Joy, we got two more clips. The next one, Joy Reid, she took off on her show last night, right? She was off for some reason.
She's a horrible woman.
And even though she took the night off and had a guest host, she was brought in via Zoom as a guest on her own show because she had to comment on the verdict.
Yeah.
So here's Joy Reid as a guest on her own show, commenting on
Another racist fucking asshole.
I love how she talks so slowly so that we can absorb every utterance.
This country was built on the idea that white men had a particular kind of freedom and a particular kind of citizenship
No, he
that
did
only
not.
they have.
Shut the fuck up.
That gives, from the slave catchers on, the right to inflict violence.
Such a fucking racist.
In the name of protecting
Shit.
property. That's like the foundational creation of the United States. So it would have been shocking
Bitch
to
is
realize.
fucking on
I'm glad you went to
drugs.
the Derek Chauvin verdict. That was the surprising verdict. This should have been unsurprising. But what I do think we have to think about is not only the families of the two men who died and the family of Mr. Grosskreutz. They are,
The felons, the sex offender.
to be in our minds right now because they suffered, and there have been a lot of white people who have defended black lives and paid for it with their lives. That goes all throughout our history, going back to John Brown. It goes through the civil rights movement. But what I am concerned about is the precedent this sets for what people will believe that they can do under law when Black Lives Matter protests happen in the future. And that people may use this as an excuse to start going out of state and doing what this teenager did, believing that they'll get away with it, and in some cases, getting away with it.
Self-defense. Getting away with self-defense when people are trying to kill you.
Yeah, can she ever make an argument without bringing up race? I don't think it's
Nope,
possible.
she's a racist.
They keep talking about Kyle, what he did. They just totally ignore what Antifa has done. They feel that their rioting and looting is completely justified. They really do. They really believe that they have every right to go into a town that they don't live in, destroy all the businesses, and then leave all this millions of dollars in damage. People, I remember the one thing where a woman had a hair salon, this black woman, and they went in and or a beauty shop and destroyed her entire business, not in Kenosha, but another city when Antifa was going on. And she was on the news crying, and she's just like, they don't live here, these people. They bust them in, and they come in and they destroy everything. Why do these people on the left insist on defending that kind of behavior? I don't understand. And they terrorized the country for months and months that summer. Nobody did anything to stop it. Nobody talked about it on the news. And they did the opposite. They went on the news and said, nothing to see here, this is peaceful. They lied to you. And I don't understand even to this, where they are still, and they're all criminal. He did not have a criminal past or a record like these other people. There's clear, even Chris Cuomo said on CNN that it was a self-defense thing. He even said that the jury came to the right conclusion based on the video evidence. You see him being chased through the town by people. One guy had a gun, another guy was throwing things at him. Kyle was not chasing anybody. He was not on a shooting spree like Nicholas Cruz or any of these people. They're trying to make him like a Nick Cruz. Like he went there and shot up the place. It's crazy.
Listen to these liberal commentators on television, too. These guys that were attacking Kyle Rittenhouse, except the one that tried to bash his head
Sector Echo is now in
they were
enemy hands.
Antifa. Okay, and when you listen to the liberal commentators on TV, they keep calling them Black Lives Matter, and they say you don't have to be black to be BLM, and these are white allies, and they're not Black Lives Matter. They're not, they're Antifa and they're criminals looking for an excuse. Now, I saved the best for last. This is Tiffany Cross, who took over Joy Reid's weekend show. And this is probably the most racist show on television.
MSNBC has a problem.
Yeah,
Here's racism.
Here's Tiffany Cross.
Another idiot.
I find these people disgusting, Ellie. I'm disgusted at what I'm seeing. It's not just this trial, it's other trials. But this in particular, the fact that white supremacists roam the halls of Congress freely and celebrate this little murderous white supremacist.
Wow.
Now slow down.
Idiot.
I think she believes every white Republican's a white supremacist. I think so too. I'd like to hear her name some names. She says, this little white supremacist?
Come on.
Wow.
The people he shot in self-defense were all white. What evidence does she have that he's racist or a white supremacist?
None.
And she should really go on the list
I agree.
of people that are, well, saying things about Kyle Rittenhouse that are slanderous.
I think CNN, because I was watching Chris Cuomo interview his attorney, and he was very civil, and I couldn't believe it. And then when him and Don Lemon were talking, they were actually praising Kyle's lawyers. And they were actually saying that this was a self-defense thing. I think CNN is afraid of getting sued. They already have this issue with Nick Sandmann. And I think they're afraid of getting sued again. And I think the commentators are afraid of losing their jobs because they've gone so far to the left. Now MSNBC is completely gone. CNN, I think, is trying to pull things back a little bit and try to get back to center because there's rumors that they're going to rebrand and fire everybody because the ratings are so bad. MSNBC, they have a bunch of racists that work there. They absolutely have a problem at that network. I never watch it, but they spew hate, pure hatred towards the white community, and that needs to be resolved.
Now let me rewind just a little bit.
It's really sickening.
Tiffany Cross went on for quite a while here saying a lot of crazy.
Sure she did.
Trial, it's other trials, but this in particular, the fact that white supremacists roam the halls of Congress freely
Shut
and
the
celebrate
fuck
this little
up,
murderous white
racist
supremacist, and the
bigot.
fact that he gets to walk the streets freely, it lets you know these people have access to instituting laws. They represent the legislative branch of this country. What are we to make of that?
Okay. Now what she's saying is, this was a self-defense case. He was found not guilty because the jury determined he shot the people he shot in self-defense. So she is acting as if this is just not allowed.
Welcome to the modern Republican Party. This is what these people want, and this is what a majority of white people vote for, right? When I say that a majority of white people are in favor of this kind of violence,
self-defense.
Shut up.
it is because a majority of white people consistently vote Republican. Since the passage of the Civil Rights Act, a majority of white people have voted Republican, right? So, this is the party that they're supporting. A majority of white people pick judges like Bruce Schrader, the judge in the Kyle Rittenhouse case. A majority of white people do not support policies that would unpack and unroll and reform this system of justice. This is what they want. Matt Gaetz is giving the white folks what they want. Look at it. Look at yourselves.
Attacking an objective.
Gross. But until a majority of you stop voting for this, this will keep happening.
He said it's gross, self-defense, gross.
It's not just that what they're saying.
Yeah, until somebody goes after them, they'll say real quick.
What they're saying is that white people want to have the freedom to walk around and shoot people. That's really what they're saying, even though no black person was involved in this whole case. What you are seeing right now on TV, not with everybody, but with some people, you are seeing this hatred and anger that they have kept inside, that they have grown up with, and they are letting it out. You are seeing their true colors. And let me tell you, MSNBC has a real problem with racism on their network, and they have too many people there now that are really, I don't think racism is good on any side. Can you imagine if they had a white person on Fox talking like that about black people this, folks? Can you imagine? It doesn't make it okay because it's coming out of a black guy's mouth. It is still racism. What he said is disgusting. Well, he basically feels that white people are in the Klan and they want to run around with nooses and shooting everybody they feel is right. That's what he said. It's sickening.
What you're hearing in the liberal media is they believe all white people on trial are guilty and should be convicted. That's just what they're saying.
Right, not just people on trial. this guy feels that all white people are like this, that we vote for this, that this is what we want. How did Obama become president? How did Joe Biden? How did Clinton? Really,
idiot.
all we do is vote Republican, and how we had Democratic presidents, Democratic senators. The Senate has the majority. The Democrats have the majority in the House, the Senate, and the presidency. How is that possible if white people only vote Republicans?
Listen, we're going to take a quick break.
Yeah,
We'll get back. There's a
retarded.
lot more to talk about. So don't go anywhere. I'm Brian. I'm joined by my wife, and there's Kathy. We'll be back right after this.
Have you wanted to get involved in investing but didn't know how or even where to begin? Then visit ExoticExpansion.com. ExoticExpansion.com offer financial education and tools to help users just like you grow financially. And don't worry if you're busy at work. They will send you stock signals through text and Discord, so you just follow their calls on when to buy and sell. It's that easy. They offer monthly and yearly membership levels to fit your budget. Membership includes one-on-one coaching, one-time advice, and stock calls. There's a members area where you can view their weekly picks, have access to their top 20 verified stock picks that always are updating, as well as a net worth tracker. And there's a lot more too. ExoticExpansion.com's goal is to provide you with the education that will enable you to achieve your financial goals. ExoticExpansion.com also have an app that's available in the Android store. ExoticExpansion.com. Crypto, stocks, Discord, tech signals, long and short-term trading, value investing, options, and financial education. It's all at ExoticExpansion.com. From author Jim Lord comes the book Don't Wait, Lead Now, available on Amazon. Don't Wait, Lead Now is a must-read for emerging leaders and anyone in leadership that wants to up their game. Author Jim Lord captures some of the most memorable, real-life leadership stories so you can use them as a tool to manage and lead others. Don't Wait, Lead Now consists of a series of insightful business lessons that the author explains in a relatable way that uses real-life examples that are easy to understand and learn from, and you can apply these lessons to your everyday life. Don't Wait, Lead Now is inspiring and helps those facing unique challenges to come with modern business problems and solutions. It's also great for anyone in a leadership role, whether they lead a sports team, at work, or at school. Author Jim Lord's passion really comes through in this book. He writes from the heart and shares stories that have influenced his leadership styles and can help you as well. Order your copy right now on Amazon. Don't Wait, Lead Now, from author Jim Lord. Available in Kindle, paperback, and hardcover. Also visit the author's website, don'twaitleadnow.com. Gift giving is a nice way to show how much you care, but what's even better are gifts that are personalized. At ZippyCustom.com, customize your products the way you want. They have t-shirts, hoodies, phone cases, caps, mouse pads, backpacks, items for the home, and so much more. You can customize everything using your own photographs, text, colors, frames, effects, and that's just some of the custom options. Personalization is what makes their items truly unique, whether you're shopping for yourself or someone you care about, or maybe your employees. ZippyCustom.com has an amazing selection that you will love, and your satisfaction is their top priority. Everything at ZippyCustom.com is of the highest quality at the best prices. Right now, they're offering 50% off your first order, and free shipping is available. That's right, free shipping. ZippyCustom.com. It's time to customize your products. ZippyCustom.com.
You are listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast. Broadcasting from sunny South Florida, Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. I was joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. You know, one thing I just found out about, maybe some of you have known about this for some time, but I think this kind of just broke Friday. And on Saturday, a couple things with Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is interviewing Kyle Rittenhouse on his show on Fox Monday, and it's the first interview with Kyle Rittenhouse. And apparently, this is the new part. Tucker Carlson has been doing a documentary on Kyle Rittenhouse for quite some time. During the whole trial, we don't really know how long. I don't know if it went before the trial or during the trial. And there's a lot of it's going to be for Fox Nation, which I guess we're going to keep that app. We got the app for that Patriot Purge. I want to see this.
Yeah, Tucker's doing a lot of documentaries and original content.
I was watching something the other night on Ulysses S. Grant's presidency that Brett Baer did. Brett Baer's got a Grant book out, and they did a documentary on Fox. It was very, very good. I learned a lot.
He does good documentaries on there. I've watched
Brett
his
Baer?
historical ones.
Yeah.
Conquer.
Did a whole series on the history of tax, and their documentaries are very good.
Yeah, so I guess we'll keep the Fox Nation ad. Do you know how much it is a month?
$5.
All right, so far, well, I got to keep it to see this Kyle Rittenhouse thing. But, okay, so anyway, Kyle Rittenhouse is in this new Tucker Carlson documentary. The first interview is coming up on Monday. And I didn't see this. You saw this. You were telling me you saw Kyle Rittenhouse's attorney. He was this on CNN?
Yeah, one of his attorneys.
And he was not happy with this Tucker Carlson documentary, and it tossed him out of the room a few times.
Yeah.
Which I can understand during a trial. The kid's life's on the line. There's a lot of privileged conversation going on.
Yeah, it's a distraction.
But what the lawyer said that was interesting is the lawyer said that Kyle has a lot of people around him that don't have his best interest at heart.
Well, anytime you have somebody, this is a very political, high-profile thing, and he's a young guy. He's not full. I know technically he's an adult, but your brain isn't really formed till you're 25 years old, and even that's not even always makes you an adult. But he told him to be careful, and I think that's good advice about who he let in and who he trusted. I don't know if there's ever been a time where somebody did a documentary during the time of a trial like this.
High profile?
Like that when they were filming. I mean, what would have happened if he was found guilty and they had to haul him off to jail? What would that have done? I mean, I'm sure it helped pay his legal fees. And I don't know if his mom works or what the status is. I'm sure she had to take time off her job to do this. His parents are divorced, so I don't know what their financial situation is. But, we'll see.
Well, I have legal fees to pay.
Legal fees, which are very expensive. But I don't know if I can ever think of a time when somebody has followed somebody around, I could be wrong, and done a documentary while they were on trial. So this is kind of different.
A new thing. Well, and it's also, listen, Kyle Rittenhouse, he's got to make a living. He can't go to school regularly. He's not going to be able to have a regular job anytime soon. There's too many social justice warriors on all the college campuses for him to get a proper education right now. So I understand he's going to be doing a lot of things for money, and other than sue people, and that's fine. But it's really a risky thing because
I didn't order a pizza.
I know, but that Parker promo saved me so much on my insurance. I thought you were something special.
Baby, you okay? Okay. The fuck?
Hostiles moving on an objective in Charlie sector.
Hey, guys,